Hello, and welcome to the channel, Projects and Caseríos. I named it that because those are similar terms that are used in different parts of the world. In the inner cities of the United States, we call them projects. In those Latino neighborhoods, they call caseríos, but they mean the same thing, project housing. And I started this channel because even though we are very far apart, we are very similar in many things that we do. But it's hard for us to get to understand one another because there's one great barrier that divides us, and that's language. And I'm here to break that barrier, to cross that barrier, to get us over that hump where we can one day realize that we are the same growing up, just in different parts of the world, speaking a different language. I know on my Facebook channel and my Instagram, I promised that today I was going to teach you Spanish, but I lied. I'm not going to teach you Spanish. What I am going to teach you is the Spanish that you already know. On your screen right now are some words that are written in Spanish, but you can recognize them easily, because we pronounce them the same in English. So you already know at least 100 words in Spanish, and you haven't even tapped into your Spanish yet. So we're going to start today with a few terms, and we're going to end with a little lesson that can hopefully get you to start your career in speaking Spanish. The word licor. First, licor. Everyone likes to drink liquor. Licor. Animal. Easily said, animal. Anything that's not human, that's alive, and not a plant, is usually an animal. Real. Colorado. Hotel. Tren. Photo. Plan. Chocolate. And doctor. All those are terms that both in English and Spanish are basically the same. Whenever you're talking to somebody, you hear the word licor, you could be in English or Spanish. Animal, real, Colorado. Colorado simply means the color red. Hotel, tren, photo, plan, chocolate, y doctor. See, we don't realize it that we already know a whole bunch of Spanish. We already know a whole bunch of English that comes from Spanish words. But first, let's learn how to greet one another. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Which simply means, how are you? Fine, and you? ¿Por qué? It simply means because or why. ¿Qué es? Simply mean what is. Now notice that I have written the Spanish words in English so that it'll be easier for you to understand what the sound is and how it translates. In Spanish, por qué, just por qué, means because or why. The two letters ¿qué es? Means what is. The letter K in itself describes what. ¿Qué eres? What are you? Now, when you respond, you want to say, soy. Soy hombre. Soy mujer. Soy niño. Soy niña. Now, I hope you've written some of these terms down, and we're going to go over them some more. I'm having a difficult time right now with the computer. But the thing is, those terms that you sing, you can go back always and write them down. People say, well, that's not the proper way that is written in Spanish. I want to learn the proper way it's written in Spanish. Most Spanish-speaking people from Spanish-speaking community don't know the proper way to write their own language. Similar to some people growing up in the inner cities of the United States. You know how to speak English, but you don't know how to write English. You don't know how to read English, but you know how to write English. I mean, you know how to pronounce the words, and you know how to speak and communicate. So we're going to get you over the first barrier, and that's communicating. If you want to become an interpreter in the courtrooms, the hospitals, and INS where they do deportations and stuff like that, then we go into more proper Spanish and how it's written and how you can read it in a more formal way of speaking it. But if you just want to communicate with your Latino friends, enjoy a good conversation, order your food, go on a vacation, meet that person that you might been looking for your whole life over there in the DR or in PR or wherever it might be in Colombia, Venezuela, we're going to get you over the first hump, and that is learning the Spanish that you already know, learning simple phrases, and getting you to practice, because it's a concept we're going to learn later on called input. And with input and practice, anyone can learn a new language. It's the amount of input you put in, which should be triple the amount of output that you get, but you should put Spanish in, and Spanish should come out. Whatever goes into your brain, that's what comes out. The more you put in, the more it comes out, the easier it is. That's a concept that we're going to get into later. But I just want right now, let me see, can I pull this screen back up? Let me see, can I pull the screen up from earlier? Hold on, YouTube. There you go. These words are simple words. Licor, liquor. Animal, animal. Real, real. Colorado, color red. Hotel, a hotel. Train, a train. Photo, a photo. Plan, a plan. Chocolate, chocolate. And doctor are simple phrases that you already know. Now, how do you get to where you can hear it when someone else is speaking it? That's called input. Today is Monday. On Tuesday, I would like that everyone tune in. If you have cable TV, Univision is a station that you can watch for at least a half an hour to an hour. And you will hear most of these phrases during that hour. If you don't have cable, and then you have a smart television, download Prende. It's free. Don't have to pay for the channel. It's a free channel called Prende. And listen to the news. I recommend that everyone wait for the news, because with the news, you get a variety of information from all over the world, the communities, and without on any particular subject, they all over the place. And that's good, because that gives you a variety of input. Now, ¿cómo estás? Bien, y tú. Practice that, because that's when you first meet someone in Spanish, that's what you want to say. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, y tú. Someone says, why or because? ¿Por qué? Somebody say, what is it? ¿Qué es? If you point to something like, what is that? What is it? ¿Qué es? Simple, 2 letters, ¿qué es? You know, it's not complicated. ¿Qué es? Who are you, or what are you? When you ask someone, are you Puerto Rican? You Dominican? You from you Venezolano? Hey, ¿qué es? Guatemalteco. ¿Qué es? ¿Qué eres? ¿Qué eres? Soy hombre. Soy mujer. Soy niño. Soy niña. Soy hombre. I'm a man. Soy mujer. Women have hair. Men have braid. Soy niño. That's a boy. Soy niña, girl. I'm a little girl. I'm a little boy. Well, those are the simple terms that we're going to learn today. Now, on Wednesday, we're going to come back and use these same terms in sentences. So I want you to practice these terms. Practice pronunciation. Go over the channel many times you need to. Go over the pronunciation. Licor, animal, real, colorado, hotel, train, photo, plan, chocolate y doctor. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué es? ¿Qué eres? Soy hombre, soy mujer, soy niño, soy niña. Now, breaking the language barrier is the most important thing in bringing communities together. I would like to unite los proyectos de público, project housing, y los caseríos, the projects. I want to unite these two because all my friends are either from the projects or from the caseríos. I can't tell you no lie. And with that being said, I want you all to understand that the best way to learn Spanish is the way you hear it, not the way it's properly written, not the way the educators are writing it, because they are going on to be professors and lawyers and people that are in high positions. Now, later on, if anyone wants to learn how to read, conjugate, write Spanish, that's a whole nother monster. That's a whole nother lesson. I done taught people how to become interpreters or translators. But that takes a lot of study and a lot of work. But just to have communications, I have taught people just to be able to walk up and have a conversation with someone. It takes little to no effort. It just takes how much effort you put in is how much you're going to get out of it. You take out what you put in. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first lesson. I wonder how it's going to go. I'm going to go over these terms again because you need to hear them 1 million times before you know them. But these ones you already heard 1 million times, so you already know them. Licor, animal, real, colorado, hotel, tren, foto, plan, chocolate y doctor. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? ¿Por qué? Why? Or because. ¿Qué es? ¿Qué eres? What are you? Soy hombre. I am a man. Soy mujer. I am a woman. Soy niño. I'm a little boy. Soy niña. The time when you know there's no English translation because ¿cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Is simply how you're going to greet each other. You don't even know what the meanings are. Well, bien, ¿y tú? Is I'm good and you. ¿Cómo estás? Is how are you doing? Bien, ¿y tú? Is I'm good and you. Well, I don't want to keep you all for a long thing because remember tomorrow, Tuesday, you will take in an hour worth of Spanish. You will practice all day today. Tomorrow, Tuesday, you'll take in a whole bunch of Spanish. And Wednesday, we'll come back and use each one of these terminologies in a full sentence. So by Friday, you will be able to say sentences you can practice on anyone because you will have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sentences that you will be able to incorporate into your vocabulary. 10 sentences. You can have a small conversation within a week. It's just about learning of vocabulary and learning how to use it in a sentence. Then later on, the sentences start overlapping until you'll understand the things that connect the sentences. You'll get accustomed to saying them. And you'll get accustomed to hearing them. Because I want you to have more input than study. I want you to study 15 minutes a day with me, 15 to 20 minutes a day with me. I want you to an hour to 2 hours of input, of watching Latino stations, listen to Latino music. I prefer music from the Caribbean because they got rappers, reggaetoneros, reggaeton. They got salsa, stuff that are similar to the music that I grew up listening to. R&B, rap, and reggae. I'm not down in no other music. I'm not down in no other culture, but music from the Caribbean and music from the inner cities of the United States are similar. It's similar in beats, tones. We got the African beats, the same mindsets. So I prefer that. Don't listen to any music. That's what I'm saying. And don't just watch any channel. Watch Univision, Prende TV. Listen to them talk. Understand how the brain works. It's called associate cortex. The more you take in and more you're associated with things that is in your life, the easier it is become for you to learn it. Matter of fact, you don't have to really try to learn it. It's going to become part of who you are. The less you take in, I don't care how much you study, the less you take in, the less you're going to learn. Input, 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 input. Listen to the music, even if you don't know what it's saying. Listen to the stations, even though you don't know what they're saying. And as we progress up, it's going to come towards us, and we're going to meet in the middle. But if there's going to be a long way if you just take one way. You got to take both ways. Yo terminé, which means I terminated or I finished. Yo terminé por hoy, for today. If you have any questions, any comments, write them in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers I have, the more I can do. I'm limited by my YouTube abilities because I have zero to no subscribers. So if you want to see more see animations, more professionalism, subscribe to the channel. I need at least 1,000 to even start uploading certain things to the YouTube channel. So subscribe, like, support, and learn together. Los proyectos de público, the projects, y los caseríos, the bricks. We're gonna bridge them communities. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna see, because on certain days on the weekend, we just gonna talk. We're gonna talk about things that happen in the projects, and you're gonna be so surprised how much is happening in the projects in the caseríos that are similar. It's gonna say, wow. That's how you say it in Spanish too, wow. Cuando tú estás hablando en el español, tú quieres decir algo, tú puedes decir, wow. Wow. Quieres decir, wow. It means wow. So, learning Spanish is going to be fun, 20 minutes a day, practicing, hearing it. Not knowing what you're hearing is the fun part, because one day you're going to understand, be like, oh, that's what he was saying. So work with me, and I'm going to work with you. But today's lesson is words you already know. Licor, animal, real, colorado, hotel, tren, foto, plan, chocolate, y doctor. Ingredients, ¿cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? How are you? Bien, ¿y tú? I'm well, and you? ¿Por qué? Easy to say why or because. ¿Qué es? What is it? ¿Qué eres? What are you? Yo soy hombre. I'm a man. Yo soy mujer. I'm a woman. Soy niño. I'm a boy, little boy. Soy niña. I'm a little girl. Those are lessons for the day. Practice. Practice. Practice speaking it, trying to pronounce it. Knowing that you're seeing and hearing the same thing. Now, next week, we're going to get into words where you only have to add a letter or two and you will hear the word. That's the lesson for next Monday. All you do is add a letter or two, you hear the word. Before we get finished in the next 2 weeks, you're going to have hundreds of words that you already know in your vocabulary, and you'll be speaking Spanish, at least at the restaurant level in the next 2 weeks. Being able to order your food, have a conversation, and respond. Thank you all for tuning in to my first broadcast, Projects y Caseríos. That's what's up. See y'all later.